What is going on, YouTube people? Day 1, 2, 3. We're at that stage in the National War. Days, hours, time has no meaning. At least other than for my legs. Day 3. Finished up last night pretty late. Last night was the latest night so far. I did the trade night and then went out to dinner with Steve and Dustin and the boys. Expect the show floor to probably be continuing to be pretty busy. That has been one of the biggest takeaways, is this show is definitely really, really busy. Once again, I don't know how much of that is the form factor of the building. This building is slightly smaller than some of the previous venues, but I have to imagine we're going to see really good attendance numbers after the fact. I've gotten some questions on how's pricing been. It's going to be the same thing I say for every large show. Pricing at these larger shows is mixed. You are going to have some dealers that are drastically over. You are going to have some dealers that are here to actually sell things and priced up, appropriately where they should be. There's always going to be a little bit of like a big show tax, at least on a sticker price. But some dealers have been willing to work off those numbers for sure. That being said, there are tons of holes in showcases. People are definitely buying. Cash is moving for sure. I've seen tons and tons of transactions going down. As always, football's been very popular. Paul Skeens has been popular. Caitlin Clark stuff has been pretty popular. The names that you would expect. But overall, show has been great, even though I have not purchased a single card yet. I'm hoping to change that this morning. There's one card that I've had my eye on that I'm going to go in and just see if they have any wiggle room on it at all. It's a rare card, doesn't come up very often. There's only like one listed on eBay at a pretty exorbitant price. The card they have stickered at $22.50, I believe. And the last comp is like $17.50 about a month or two ago, but this is the type of card that the price wouldn't have really moved on it at all. So even if I could get them down close to that number, it's a card that I wouldn't mind paying full sticker price on. I wouldn't have a problem with that. So we'll see what happens with that, if I can negotiate that down a little bit. And then other than that, just kind of see what I run into, which so far has not been very much. I've been disappointed in one of my hopes here was, with the show being in Cleveland, was, will I see some cool Cleveland stuff? Will that inventory come out? And I haven't run into that yet. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I've seen every showcase, because I haven't, even though I've walked the show floor multiple times at this point. Depending on when you're walking through, inventory changes over. Some tables are busy, so there's been tables that I've probably walked past and haven't looked at a showcase in, just because you really can't get up to it depending on the time of day. So I have a different section of the show floor that I want to tackle this morning before it gets busy, and just see what I could see over there. But we're going to go ahead and get packed up here and get ready to head into the show. It's just before 8:30. The show, I could get in at 8:30. The show does not open until 9:30. Dealers don't set up right away, but you get a good 15-20 minute jump on traffic getting in there, where you can, like I said, you can kind of really get through a lot of tables walking around. So we have a lot of events tonight. Market Movers has a happy hour thing, and then Filmington's event tonight as well. And then tomorrow, honestly, I might not come to the show first thing in the morning. I think we're going to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, me and the wife. And then I will probably come up to the show in the late afternoon and try to do tomorrow night's trade night. At least that's my thought process heading in. We'll see how today goes. So, all right, we're going to head in the show and see what's going on. All right, a little mid-show update here. I was over on the other side. It was a lot busier in the smaller section. It's about 10:40 in the morning. I just walked kind of over to the bigger section. It's way less traffic, rather, over here. I've been buying this morning. I'm about 3K in so far. But the biggest reason why is I sold stuff. I walked in with cash. That was no problem. But whenever I sell cards, I immediately become fast and loose with cash.
So I sold about $1,400 at trade night last night. And then today I sold my J-Rod first Bowman auto and the Stroud Silver. And I took that plus the money I sold last night, and we made a couple pickups. I'll do a full pickups video later. But I picked up a cool dual auto. We'll give it a little tease. Pop culture-ish / sports adjacent dual auto.
Okay.
And another auto, both wrestling actually, for about $1,300. Grab those. And then I also picked up a really cool non-sports auto for about $2K. So snag that. And yeah, that's the show so far. It's about, like I said, it's about 11 a.m., a little bit before 11 a.m. You can see this side of the building, definitely easier to walk around in for the most part. The other side, the smaller section, definitely a lot tighter. So we will check back in here in a little bit, but give you a little look down the side aisles here as we're kind of roaming around. Over here we have Heritage Auctions. They got a lot of crazy stuff going on. We'll walk in here real quick. Just keep rolling. So this is the big Babe Ruth jersey that everyone's losing their mind about. This is the called shot.
There you go. Sounds like you need to call the call.
Game worn, supposedly. But Heritage's, when you come to the Heritage's booth, it's like literally walking through a museum. We'll swing back here. I'm not a Power Rangers guy per se, but I can appreciate a good display when I see one. Got some Turtles heads. These things actually look kind of freaky in person. But yeah, I'm not a Power Rangers person, but they do have, they're a little too old, but they do have the full lineup of costumes. And then over here, that is Dorothy's ruby slippers and the witch's hat. So they got that kind of roped off, so I can't rock right up next to it. But yeah, here's all the Power Rangers stuff. Like I said, a little before my time. Or rather, the opposite way around. I'm a little too old for it. Bunch of cool Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. A little Nirvana action there. Here's a bunch of gear from the Power Rangers. And then back here's the big eBay booth. A little busier back here in the corporate area because everyone wants the free stuff. All right, we got another mid-show update for you. Figured I'd just do this while I kind of walk the show floor. I just closed another deal on a, I'm gonna tease it again, a non-sports card to pair up with the other big non-sports card that I bought. So having a very successful day 3, I believe this is Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, I got to keep counting the days. Friday. But having a very successful Friday so far. I've picked up 4 cards, 2 wrestling cards, 2 non-sports cards, but having a really good show. Really, really happy with what I picked up today. I had to pay strong for the stuff, but it's stuff that, you know, sometimes you got to pay full comp. And that's okay if you actually really want to own the card. And that's kind of the difference on the non-sports non-sports stuff, is people don't flip that stuff that often. So it can be tricky to shake loose from people. But as you can see on Midday, it is currently 2:30. Show is packed. I was talking to some dealers. They said they think it's busier than the 2021 National. and a lot of people are commenting that their sales are way up. That a lot of the dealers, this is their best show that they've had of the post-COVID nationals, and I would believe it. I mean, you guys can kind of just get a sense for the show floor as we're just kind of walking through here, and I'm just kind of going stream of consciousness here, but it is absolutely slammed in the middle of the day here. A lot of tables are pretty difficult to get up to, but overall it's been a good show. Talked to a lot of viewers of the channel, which is great. Talked to some corporate people. Did some little relationship building like you got to do. Made some pickups. But yeah, overall really good show today. Been a great show overall, even with the lack of buys. But I did the selling, freed up some more cash, and able to pick up some deals today. So that's it for right now. We'll check back in a little bit.
Once again, we are back here in the home compound after another long day on the show floor. Snuck out a little early tonight. Myself, Dustin, Steve, Michael Ham went and snagged some dinner. Went to Fatheads, grabbed some dinner, and then Dustin and I had a Market Movers event to attend, hang out with Teapot and Jeff Wilson and the Market Movers crew. They went downtown. I went home. I was the old man of the group. I just got back in the house about 10 p.m. East Coast time and, editing the video together. So I wanted to head back home. Day 3. Let's talk about it. As you saw in the video, show floor, once again, very busy. The narrative of the week in regards to the venue has been Wi-Fi has been a little spotty. It's not perfect. It's not as bad as the Atlantic City year. I would say 90% of the time I have not had an issue. So overall, internet's pretty good. Temperature, building is fine. There's a couple spots where it's a little warm, but generally speaking, the temperature in the building overall is pretty good. Traffic, and I'm not talking foot traffic, car traffic. That is definitely an issue, especially at peak times in the morning. And a little bit trying to get out of there in the evening, but really there is a morning, everyone trying to get in there all at the same time for that 9:30, 10 o'clock show opening, including dealers and everything else. That has been a little bit of a situation for sure. Luckily, the locals know a back way into the convention center, so I have been using that as I've been going to this convention center for years. And snuck in the back and have had no real issues with parking. And I've also made it a point. So dealers, media, etc., get in the show floor at 8:30. I have made it a point to be in the parking lot no later than 8 or 8:15, and really have not had much of a problem. So that's been the general vibe so far. Like I said in the video, dealers that are priced correctly are having trouble keeping inventory in their cases. They just are. Stuff is moving extremely fast. There is a lot of money changing hands at this thing. The old, the hobby's dying, it's all going to zero. Spend the weekend at the National and you will have an entirely different tune on those sorts of things. I did finally crack the seal, spent some money today. Picked up 2 wrestling autos. Not something I talk about or buy very often, but over the years, especially at the National, I have picked up varying different wrestling autos. I have a nice HBK Sweet Chin Music auto. I have a Stone Cold Steve Austin with him smashing 2 beers. A really great image on the Stone Cold auto. I have a Bushwhackers dual auto. I picked up a single auto today and a dual auto today. The dual auto I spoiled on Instagram, so you can go check that out over there. We'll do a full pickups video. I don't have the camera set up to record the desktop, and I just didn't feel like messing with it at 10 o'clock when I've been up forever. But yeah, we'll do a full pickups video, but got 2 wrestling autos and then picked up 2 non-sports autos that pair together. I gave that hint in the video, and I will mention it again here. There are also cards that I had hinted at in videos previously of things that I was looking at. So far I've spent roughly speaking, without trying to do too much math, because my brain is not fully all firing on all cylinders, probably a little over 4K, give or take. And I've sold 3,200-ish in cards. So I'm really only out 800 out of pocket cash wise, because I rebuilt up the reserves. I sold a bunch of cards at trade night, and then I sold my J-Rod First Bowman and the Stroud CJ Silver to a repacker today that I knew that was walking the show floor. I got, I think, like between 85 and 90% for those two cards. So I took it, and then I used that money to go buy a 2K non-sports card. One of the non-sports autos that I picked up was sitting right about 2K. But we'll talk about that because I'll take some time to run through all those and kind of tell the story behind each individual purchase. So I've cracked the seal on buying, and I feel great. I am very happy with the pickups that I made. And like I said, one of them I spoiled on Instagram, so you can go check that out over there. Not sure what the plan is for Saturday and Sunday for buying. I was hoping to find some Pokemon wax, and that has not happened yet. I have not seen much, if any, Pokemon wax on the show floor at all. Especially like modern stuff like I'm looking for. And of cards that I like took mental inventory of walking around the show, they've either sold out or I bought them. There was two really high-end cards that I was toying with the idea of making a run at. I thought both were priced high and both sold. One was the Ryan Reynolds. That card was stickered at 3,500. It was pretty far over comps. What the hell do I know? It sold, and it sold for a very strong price, the way I understand it. The other one was the Robert Downey Jr. auto. That one was a long shot for me just because of the amount of capital it would have taken to get into it. I thought that was high. I was pretty far off with the number that I felt comfortable at, and that card sold. And that probably almost deserves a video on its own regarding, there's just certain cards where comps don't matter. And there's a couple cards that I bought where I paid strong because I didn't really necessarily care that I was paying either full comp or in one case slightly over comp. Because I really wanted to, and that comes down to, and I mentioned it in the clip, it comes down to actually wanting to own the card. So you're going to pay a lot stronger when you actually want to own the card. So, and your whole purchasing plan is not to, I need to buy this to make 10% on it later. It's, I want to have this for years to come. Maybe something comes up and you need to end up selling it. But overall, very, very fun show. It's been great, once again, talking to you all, having the different varying viewers come up and say, how much they enjoy the channel and different stories that they tell me about how they consume the content, and all that stuff is absolutely fantastic. I've met people all over the country today. Absolutely great. Got, talked to a lot of air quote industry people at the show. Hung out with the PSA team for a little bit on Wednesday with some of those people over there. Swung by the SGC booth, talked to Peter over there for a little bit. Talked to Dave, the former owner, over there for a little bit. Talked to the CGC folks for a little bit. Talked to some collect people for a little bit. And some other various other, hobby luminaries that move behind the scenes. So overall, fun show. And like I said, going into this thing, I didn't buy a card until 3 days in, and I could have not bought a card, and it would have been a fantastic show. Because getting to hang out with all my friends again, make new friends, reestablish friendships with people that you only get to see in person once a year. And maybe you talk online, but you only get to see him face to face once a year. Going out to dinner with Dustin, Steve, and Ham, that's kind of like a national tradition now in some shape or form. And we've gotten to go out multiple times this time around. But yeah, the cards are what bring everyone to the building. Like, that's why everyone comes. But it's the stuff that's all around it that's honestly more important to me than anything else. Meeting the viewers and hanging out with the friends. You know, got to hang out with Ryan from GemRate. Since the show's local, I got to hang out with a lot of my local guys today. Walked the show floor with Cody and Steve for a while, two of my really good buddies. There's still some people I haven't ran into. I have not seen Splenda. I know he's at the show. I just haven't ran into him yet. My best friend in the hobby, Vintage Sports Shack, was at the show today. I did not cross paths with him. I did not see him. It's a big show floor. I've run into the same people 10 times over, and there's people that I haven't seen at all. I still have yet to meet Victor, the rookie card specialist, in person, even though we've been at multiple nationals. We just have not crossed paths. Jason, aka Cards and Comics, great YouTube station. I missed him today. We did not cross paths, hoping to do that tomorrow. But Saturday, I'm going to take a lower key approach. I'm going to skip the morning part of the show. We're going to see Wolverine and Deadpool. I'm going to grab some lunch, then head up to the show in the early afternoon, and then try to get into trade night on Saturday night and have a trade night experience since I skipped Friday nights. And then Sunday, I'll probably end up running back up to the show, even if it's just not for a full day, just kind of check in, walk around. I've never been to the National on a Sunday because I kind of want to see it in its death throes as the show begins to wind down and people escape, and see if maybe I can get some deals on some stuff, run into some wax, see what happens. So that's all I got for you, boys and girls. We're going to wrap this one up. Catch you boys and girls tomorrow. Peace.